What's up everybody, Ben here and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. Today we're diving into the First Descendant, a game that's currently in development by Nexon, but I recently managed to get some hands-on time with the game as it just had a technical test on Steam. I'll be sharing my thoughts based on this test, so please keep this in mind during this video that this isn't the final product I'm playing at the moment. With that all out of the way, let's jump right in.
Humans resisted until they could no longer. Then they found hope.
The First Descendant is an upcoming third-person looter shooter developed in Unreal Engine 5. It promises a blend of fast-paced combat, deep customization, and a rich immersive world. I'm going to break this down with the good stuff, the not so good stuff, and some of the things that I think need a little bit of work still, and then we'll have a little chat about monetization, the in-game spending, and where I'm sitting with all of that currently from what I've seen so far. First up, the visuals, the cutscenes, the art style. The First Descendant is really making use of Unreal Engine 5. It looks very impressive. The game lighting, the effects, the visuals, they're all stunning. Particular focus on enemies and character models, even more so, and great vistas to draw the eye to as well. It features beautiful cutscenes that seamlessly transition from cutscene to gameplay, and it really just adds to that immersive experience. Now, as someone who spends a lot of time playing Destiny 2, there's a lot to compare here and some similarities. I think the First Descendant is definitely trying to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Destiny 2, Warframe. I can't comment too much on Warframe, although that may be a closer comparison given that's also third person and monetized to some extent, but I haven't really played too much of Warframe to be that familiar with it. That said, the hub area where the quests and vendors are located here in the First Descendant is very reminiscent of the tower from Destiny 2. Instead of classes and subclasses, we have Descendants, who are different characters that we can swap between and customize, each with their own abilities and unique characteristics. Your weapon loadouts can stay between different Descendants, but even the weapons have ammo similar to Destiny 2, even to the color scheme almost, with like white, green, purple, and orange ammo types. Although you do have a bit more freedom, you can customize the weapons and just choose which slot they go into. You can run triple primary and triple heavy if you should so wish. There's a lot of options there. The traversal and combat feels quite nice. You have a grapple hook to zip around and climb up to out of reach places, as well as a double jump, and an evade too if you're finding yourself in a tight spot. Definitely some clunkiness at times, with collisions against the terrain and stuff like that, but overall movement feels nice. There's a lot here in terms of weapons. There are mods for your abilities, mods for your weapons themselves, as well as mods for your Descendant, all giving various buffs and improvements, and these are managed by the mod slots, which are determined by your mastery level. The higher level you are, the more stuff you can equip. Plays really well with the power fantasy, which I feel Destiny 2 does really well. You're going to face challenging foes, you're going to be fighting lots of enemies, but mixing your abilities and your weapon choices gives you that nice feeling of being in control and capable, rather than having your back against the wall constantly and it feeling like a bit more of a struggle, like a Dark Souls kind of game. The area that I explored, Kingston, is a little bit like an overworld on a planet in Destiny where you can explore. I'd say there's not a ton to do here at the moment, and they are a smaller scale and they're broken up by travel zones, so you have a little bit of a loading screen to travel from one area to the other within this zone. But this is where you pick up smaller missions that you can do solo or with others. The entire game is constantly offering you to play solo or with others, which is nice. You can have that choice. You can play this entirely solo and do most activities from what I could see, just solo if you want, and just privately queue up for it. But matchmaking was fluid, easy, click of a button, pick up a mission, and if others are in the area that just started or it's about to start, you'll be thrown in together seamlessly. There are things like dungeons or strikes that see 4 of you go through a mission and kill the boss. Again, there's not a lot of exploration here. It's kind of just follow the path. I don't think that's the aim of the game here, but it does follow the process of moving through the level, kill the enemies. There's a bit of story being done via the voiceover with the comms channel and everything like that. And then you reach the boss, take him out. Nothing too out of the ordinary or groundbreaking with these. Did manage to try a larger scale encounter where it was more like a trial from Final Fantasy XIV. You load in, there's 4 of you, and you face off against a larger single enemy with lots of health, weak spots, and attacks to dodge. This was quite fun, and you can unlock these as you progress and level up, and you get some good rewards from these as well. They're kind of like a nice little milestone. So it all sounds good so far, but there are some bits that are a bit rough at the moment, a bit rough around the edges. Firstly, cutscenes seem to be locked at 30 frames per second, which is noticeable when transitioning to the higher frame rates of gameplay. So although it's nice to have that cutscene into gameplay, when you go gameplay into cutscene, you suddenly then start to see it not chugging, but it feels weird than seeing it at 30 frames. Additionally, there's an issue, like I said, with the lip syncing in some cutscenes, but this was here and there. You can see some low textures as well in places and things being a bit unpolished. Gonna give them a pass on this, given that it's a technical test at the moment and, you know, it's still time before the game releases and things like that. One thing is the game is lacking DLSS and FSR support at the moment. So I was playing on Ultra 4K settings and I was yielding around 40 to 50 frames per second, which is playable, but, you know, not ideal. On high settings, with some settings on Ultra, but majority was on high, I was getting around 70 frames per second, so that was a little bit better. On the one hand, very promising that it does work like this with no DLSS and FSR, and while it isn't a technical test as well. But on the other hand, my rig should be capable of doing that, and I think lower hardware may struggle. So hopefully we can see these upscaling technologies implemented, because it does really allow a wider audience to be able to enjoy a game that looks this stunning, but on a variety of different machines. In terms of performance, I had no crashes and only one issue, so very good performance overall. It stayed rock steady with the frame rate for the most part, no lagging and disconnecting, played smoothly, good experience. I had one moment, as I mentioned, where it appeared to be a memory leak or something, as I suddenly experienced a drop to about 15 to 20 frames and it wouldn't go back up. I had to actually restart the game. That was after a couple of hours of playing, and it only happened the once. When I did it again, like for an extended session, did not happen again, so might have just been a random occurrence. The inventory and consumable slots are quite restrictive, and again, we'll delve into this with the monetization section, but this can be unlocked further with in-game spending. This brings us to the issue of pay for convenience. While it is a co-op PvE game, there's no PvP as far as I'm aware, and that's not planned. The presence of paid convenience items could be seen as a form of pay to win. This will depend on your outlook and where you draw the line individually. There's going to be some grind here. Weapons are on a DPS basis rather than the perk slots like Destiny. Feels a little bit more like Division, where you can get like blue, green, purple versions of the weapon. They'll do more damage, quicker reloads, stuff like that. Activities are quick to jump into, and you can even restart an activity once you complete it. So you can get back into the queue and go again, which on the one hand, really like. Destiny 2 makes you go back to orbit, select the activity, queue again, takes a bit of time, you know, you can save some time by just having a re-queue button. But on the other hand, the fact that that's there makes you wonder how much will you be doing that grind and redoing it over and over again and stuff like that. There is some good quality of life here, but that is the one area I would criticize, is the items. You get 4 different ammo types that drop in, you get health drops, there's mana drops, there's weapon and module drops, crafting material drops. Your screen after a fight or during a fight is filled with colorful items to collect, some of which you can't as you're full, and then you're in the middle of a fight and you're not sure if it's going to disappear or not. You don't know if it's going to stay forever. I don't believe there's a postmaster system like Destiny has a postmaster, where if you don't pick something up and you go back to your hub later on, you'll be able to pick that item up. It will be there ready for you to collect, because it's just like, you missed it, but hey, it's yours, you can get it now. I've got a feeling with this game it's not going to do that. It's going to just be like, well, you've got to get that. So what you end up finding is that during the middle of a battle, you're like, well, I'm going to go hoover up my loot that's on the floor and then carry on fighting and stuff like that. But it just starts to get a little bit cluttered, and although it looks nice, makes the gamer brain go yay, yeah, I was finding it that it was just getting a little bit too much with the drops there on that side of things.
It seems HQ is faltering. I understand. After all, HQ shoulders the burden of protecting humanity.
So overall, that was kind of more gameplay orientated. Now we're going to go on to the monetization. So clearly paid convenience items in this game. Thought I'd make it its own section, because I think whether that's a pro or a con is down to you individually. We also don't know the pricing of the currency yet, which I'll go into as well. So really depends how much some of this is, because at the moment something could be £10, something could be £2, like we'll have to see. But my thing is, if they're making things deliberately slower to force you to buy into getting something done, then that's not great in my opinion. But if it's just a case of saving you a bit of time or giving you the options, and you know, it's not an unreasonable grind, like compared to just then opening your wallet and paying for something, it's nice to have that option for people who want to do that, who maybe don't have the time but do want to dip in and play the game and support it and stuff like that. You can purchase a variety of skins, cosmetics, hairstyles, makeup, other vanity items, and in my opinion, this is all perfectly fine. I believe free-to-play title on PC, it's PlayStation and Xbox as well. You do need to make their money somehow. Cosmetics, battle passes, that's part of the industry, that's just how it is. However, where it gets more muddy is that there are also resource bundles, upgrade items, starter kits. These will give you in-game currency, boosters, modules, all these things. You get rare modules that like enhance your abilities and stuff like that. That's the bit where it's a little bit more questionable. The game features 3 types of currency: caliber, Kuiper, and gold. I think I'm saying Kuiper right, but Kuiper is used for upgrades, gold for in-game spending. Both of these are earnable in-game, so you can get both of these by doing missions, strikes, all that kind of stuff, and doing all that. It's absolutely fine. Caliber is the purchasable currency that you need to use real money for. Now, we can't purchase Caliber during the test, but we could see, you know, the cost of things. So skins were costing around 750 Caliber. A new Descendant, like a new class, basically was about 450 to get that unlock. Other various bundles as well were ranging from like 500 to 700. There was 1,000, I think, as well, and stuff like that. We were given Caliber as part of the playtest, so they would give us Caliber at different intervals as we progressed through, just giving us bundles. So I think we almost got about 10,000 Caliber. We can try out the store, make some purchases, get an idea of how it works. That was the whole point. No doubt on their end, they're testing how the store responds to that and everything like that. But the topic of skins brings another point. The majority are female focused, which, like I said, given the character models, makes sense. But then with the current event, it's like schoolgirl and maid outfits. There are premium skin bundles that have a wider range, and there are some skins on the character screen that I couldn't purchase, but I could preview. Maybe those will be unlockable in the game or just simply unavailable in this playtest. It does seem like some skins will be purchase only at least, so not sure if things can be fully earned in game. So if you're someone who likes to, you know, try and do everything and earn everything in game, not 100% sure if, even if you put the grind of many hours in, if you could achieve everything. But yeah, we'll have to see. Wasn't really clear what was purchasable only and what could be earned, or if anything could be earned in that regard, but when it comes to skins. And like I said, I think they're definitely appealing to a certain market and a certain kind of player base potentially with the skins and stuff like that.
Time to try out your great gift to me.
In terms of acquiring new Descendants, you can find materials in game, or like I said, you can pay 450 Caliber to skip the process. Now, you can buy a Descendant starter pack. It includes some XP and gold boosters. I think those ones last 3 days. I did see some boosters that were lasting 7 days. The normal way to unlock Descendants is you collect free items, but the drop chance on those seem quite low. The good news is you can craft them by grinding them and doing different missions and things to get them dropping, hopefully, and get the materials for those that then you can craft them. So the only thing is then that you can only craft one of them at a time. There's like a timer gate. So if an item takes 2 hours to craft, but you need 5 of those to then make the bigger item, that's going to take you 10 hours of real game time, and you need to log in each time or stay logged in to initiate the craft every 2 hours. I'm personally not a fan of the system of having like real life time barriers in the game. It's there purely to slow progress. That is all it's there for. There is no other reason why that would be there. And I think depending on how egregious they are with that, that's just there to encourage people to just buy the unlock. Those that aren't patient enough, or those that are fed up of their item not dropping and stuff like that after already spending a load of time grinding the materials, they've then got to wait to then craft it. Whereas if you buy one of those Descendant starter packs, you just get a token and you can just buy whichever one you want straight away. So yeah, a little bit weird there, but again, it's not PvP, so you're not really getting a huge advantage. So it's an option there, I guess. Like I said, this is a very gray area because it's kind of very much keeping it where it's just you're playing with others, not against others. So it really depends how you view it. There's also a battle pass that offers cosmetics, items, boosters, and Caliber. Completing the battle pass could earn you some caliber back. They said about 60% cash back on caliber will be available. So a lot of other games these days, when you get in the battle pass, you put the initial investment in and you can actually get 100% of that value back. So then the idea is next season you can buy the other one. If you get to level 100, you can buy the next season pass. Nice kind of cycle. Obviously not nice for cash flow on that side of things, because the people that do complete it, although I assume that is quite low, most people probably will buy it and not see it to the end. This one you can get to level 100, put that whole grind in, you will not have enough caliber to buy the next one, should you want to, on that side of things. We also couldn't see the bundle of caliber, like what bundle you buy them in. So, because obviously there was no pricing or you weren't able to buy caliber, we just gifted it. So that's another thing as well, because again, they kind of normally bundle the caliber in odd amounts so that you need to buy more than you need to get the thing you want and stuff like that. There's a lot of these tactics now. It's a shame that it's the staple in the gaming industry, but that's probably a wider like video and discussion to have. But yeah, shame to see that that's how they've approached that. But you know, you're always going to need to be putting in some form of money if you want to participate in the battle pass. But then you'll look at it and see if you are wanting the cosmetics, the boosters, the items, and all that kind of stuff as well. In terms of how Descendants work, they all have their own abilities, but they can share or have their own independent loadouts. You can actually set it up. So I really like that system that you can just seamlessly switch between them. And well, seamlessly, like you go into a menu and you just choose which one you want, and then by the time you've closed the menu, you're in the exact same spot, but the other class now, the other Descendant, and you'll have your same loadout on. So that's pretty cool. They have their own level, so you use them, you complete quests, you level that Descendant individually, but then overall you have what's called a mastery level, and that's kind of your account level. So mastery level has account wide buffs to inventory space, mod slots, stats, all that other stuff across every character you play as. And then your character itself, the Descendant themselves, as they level up, they increase stats and slots individually too. So quite like how they implemented that as well. It's just more the question of how much of a grind is it going to be to get them, how much real life money is 450 caliber, because that could be a $5 and that could save you hours and that might be worth it. That could be 20 quid and like £20, and then you're like, that's not so worth it. So yeah, something to see how that pans out. A lot of this is more just a case of how they actually handle the monetization, but we'll have to see.
There's no Ironheart on that side either. This is the last spot.
Let's get this over with.
The Architect Ruins. It took so many soldiers to find this place. Please let the Ironheart be in here somewhere.
I hope it is too, Bunny. I'd like to give Albion some...
Overall, the First Descendant shows a lot of promise, and truth be told, it's something I've enjoyed playing so far. Gameplay is nice, visuals look great, audio is lovely. It feels relatively well polished so far, and I'm curious when this will be released, because it was originally slated for a 2024 release, so we will have to see if they still plan to go ahead with that, like later this year. We've seen obviously technical tests and stuff from other games, and then they've launched in a month or two as well. So this could be coming out in the summer. This could be in the, towards the Christmas time and stuff like that, or it could even be next year. Technical test highlighted some fantastic elements, but also revealed areas that need attention. Beautiful visuals, engaging combat, potential for deep customization. It could be standout title if the developers address the current issues. A major concern is how much they tune the game grind so that it's almost punishing to play unless you open your wallet and pay them for the materials or the skips. Nothing against the convenience option being there in a PvE only game. If people want to do that, that's up to them. Sometimes it's done to the detriment of everyone else, and in my opinion that could ruin this otherwise great game. That's my first impressions of the First Descendant technical test. What did you think? Are you excited for the full release? Have you tried it yourself? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future updates. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.